not going to understand the thing that I'm trying to articulate this morning. If you've never been there before, you may not understand exactly what I'm trying to articulate this morning. But if you've been there, like some of us been, well, if you've never been there before, well, live a little longer. If you leave a little longer, you will get that. Somehow you're gonna experience betrayal. Somehow you're gonna experience disappointment in your life if you live a little much longer. And so that when you begin to accuse people and blame people for making certain statements about certain people based on their experience about certain people, you're going to hold your mouth. You're going to be able to count your words. Because I tell you, I've seen people heartbroken, personally been heartbroken before. So I know how it feels. And I don't blame anyone for calling names and making all kinds of remarks concerning a particular individual, especially when they are emotionally battered. It's a really tough place to be, never a good place to be. If you ever find yourself in that emotional situation, maybe you will understand what I'm trying to say. And, and the matter now is, now we got to live beyond just making those remarks. Okay, I give it to you. Make those remarks, and you felt bad. That's gonna ease you the stress. It's gonna ease you the pain. The fact that you can look at the person and just cuss him off, like just tell him how, or tell her exactly how you feel, or how demonic it is, how ungrateful that person is, blah blah blah. That is a way of relieving the pain that you feel that are so intangible that somebody got to actually be in your shoes to be able to feel those pains. It's not like you got injured on your knee, or maybe you had an accident and you had a wound or injury on your foot, and you can tell people that this hurts because my knees are all swollen up, my ankle is swollen, and so everybody's looking at a swollen knee and a swollen ankle. I can bend my knees, it's painful. It's easy to communicate such pain, and then it's easy to get people to understand and see it from your own end. But when you're dealing with an emotional pain, which is actually more severe than the physical pain that we deal with on our knees, on your ankles or your ribs or your elbow, your arm, your shoulder, it's swollen. Everybody's seeing it. It's swollen. Excuse me. But when you're dealing with an emotional pain that you can't even explain, you can express it. No, sorry, you can't explain it, but you can only express it. And sometimes when you begin to express those pain, it looks like you're exaggerating, like you're going overboard. Like this is no, you're taking it out of context. No, he or she not taking it out of context. The only problem you have with the person is that you're not feeling what the person is feeling. Okay, now, and at the end of the day, you see them making remarks. They're trying to relieve some of the pain that they're dealing with. They don't even know what else to do. How else do I relieve this pain? How do I even apply a painkiller? There's no painkiller for emotional pain. And so people resolve to, making those horrible remarks and about the individual that caused them the pain, and just to find a way to, relieve those pains. But in as much as I let that slide and I let people have their ways because probably I've done the same thing. I know. And but we what I'm talking about this morning is that we have to live beyond just trying to relieve pain. Because I think that one of the greatest painkiller for emotional pains is not just talking about it, It's not just trash talking to the person, but it's about being able to learn a great lesson from those pain, from the experience, as a matter of fact. Because if you can grab a lesson, you can deal with the pain. Now, it's important for let people understand what you're going. You want somebody to see things the way you're seeing it. You wish somebody would just understand what you're going through. I wish you could just feel what I feel for a moment. And when someone say, "Yeah, I think I feel what you're feeling. I think I understand where you're standing from. I think I know. I think I have a clue what's going on." Hmm. But if you can go beyond the pain and try to look through the pain to see the lessons that need to be grabbed from the experience, that will help you way, way better to deal with the pain, to deal with the pain. That is going to help you way, way better to deal with the pain than just trash talking and getting someone to be on your side and see it the way you see it. Those that helps. I know they all help, but I can tell you what will actually help you really good is when you grab a lesson from the experience. What did I do wrong? Where did I mix it? Maybe I let down my guard so quickly. Maybe I shouldn't have given out the information that I gave so early. Maybe if I had withheld some of those information, maybe I wouldn't be in this position that I am today. Maybe I went so fast, or maybe I went so slow. If you can get to the point where you tell yourself, okay, this is where the problem is. I gave up information, sensitive information, in the morning that was meant for the evening. Let me say that one more time. I gave up information that were made in the morning that were made for in the evening. Of course, in the line of relationship or whatever it is, there are some information that should be released in the morning, and there are information that should be released in in the in the afternoon, and the ones that's supposed to be released in the in the morning, in the evening. And so, if you release, I believe if you release the information that's supposed to be released in the morning, in the evening, if you release them in the morning, that probably will be so much out of place because it may cost you a lot of havoc that you never may recover from a long time. And so, and so once you begin to realize those and say, I think this is my problem. I was too quick to trust. I was too quick to release information. I went in so fast, you know. And I can learn that. And the reason I'm learning is because I'm not going back to fix what is spoiled. No. And I think let me digress a little bit. And I think that is a major issue, you know, dealing with issues because we think we can correct things that happen. No, but God is not even interested in you correcting what is already done wrongly. No, He's interested in you moving forward, not letting those things keep repeating or perpetually happening in your life. Because you can't go back to fix what is spoiled, but you can stop new ones from spoiling. You can stop new decays, new spoils, But you may not be able to go back to spoil what was already spoiled, to fix what was already spoiled. And every time you try to go back to fix it, I'm gonna fix it, I'm gonna get it done, I'm gonna handle it, I'm gonna fix it. You get frustrated in the middle of it because you can't. But you can take it from where you are and say, you know what? I'm not interested in fixing this, but I'm interested in not allowing it to happen again. That is possible. That can be done. And that I believe is what God wants you to learn from every situation of your life. Not trying to fix what is already spoiled by some idiot, or maybe spoiled by your own individual mistakes. No, God is not expecting you to fix those stuff. God is expecting you to learn from them. And you'll be able to move on from where you are at. Now it's gonna be dangerous for you if you if you're trying to fix whatever that was spoiled. It's gonna be dangerous for you. Because you can't. I said from the beginning that, betrayal is not bad, but the worst part of betrayal is knowing that this betrayal comes from the people that you trust and love so much. That's the danger part of it. And when such happens, we get emotionally drained up as a result of disappointment. And it leaves injury with you. You get wounded. And unfortunately, these kind of wounds and injuries are so intangible that it can be felt, it can be seen, it can't even be explained, but it can only be expressed. And the expression of these kind of wounds and injuries can only be done individually. There is no one way, there is no prescribed way to express the pain that one feels in the inside that no one sees. It's quite different to have a pain, I said it, to have an injury on your knee, or your thigh, or your hip, or your leg, to have a swollen knee, swollen ankle, swollen shoulder, and it hurts. It's quite easy to explain. I mean, you can pull your shirt and show how swollen your shoulder is. You can pull your pants and show how swollen your knees are. And everybody will understand it. Just looking at the swollen knees, oh my God, the knees are all swollen. Oh, it gotta be painful. Yes, it is painful. And that is easy to explain. And that is also easy for people to relate to it. Cool. But when it has to do with a pain that you can explain, you can even show, you don't even know where it is, but you know it's there. You feel it in the inside. Your heart hurts. Your heart beats so fast. You can sleep. You are tossing every night in the bed. You can't do something straight. You're angry about everything, angry with everything. You just piss off. You're furious. You are disorganized, disenchanted. You just not coordinated. You're not together. You know, these are signs and symptoms of emotional pain. And yet you cannot explain this kind of pain to anyone because you don't even know how to explain it. Because it's intangible and invisible. And so the only thing you can do is to express it. And so you choose the way to express it. And people express the pains in different ways, in different directions, and different methods. Like I said, there's no prescribed universal way or default way to express your emotional pain. It's just expression, and many is resolved to expressing it by talking, trash talking the individual, whoever caused that pain or whoever you believe caused that pain. Whoever you believe caused that pain, I'm gonna give it to you back. How ungrateful that idiot is, and that person is this, is that, is that. You keep saying all of those things just to see if you can just create an outlet to let the pain flow out and dry up, and it can at least free you up. Because emotional pain is like a bondage, it holds you, it locks you up. Imagine having two swollen knees, you can walk, you are in pain. You're going to call off work, you want to go to church. I don't care what you have, you're going to call it off. You can't even climb the stairs, you can't walk, you are in pain. Aleve can help you. Tylenol is not even helping matters. You're handicapped, you're locked down. That think about emotional pain. That's how powerful it is because it's going to get you imprisoned. You can't be able to do the thing that you want to do because you can't even think straight. You got to be able to think straight to be able to do stuff straight. And now you can't think straight. You can't. You can act straight. Think about it. And and you're carrying these things day after day, year after year. You're carrying all of this pain. In order to live beyond that pain, it's something that you must understand. You must first of all realize the lessons that must be learned from that encounter, regardless of who is involved in the encounter and how the encounter happened. But there is a lesson that one must be able to grab from the inside. Because if you're unable to grab that lesson, be able to discover that lesson that God actually wants you to learn from that betrayal. Because I said to us from the beginning, God is intentional. It's a pre-informed God who knows the ending from the beginning. He does. And I'm saying it unapologetically because I know He is. I'm not saying it because somebody told me. I'm saying it because I know it. That there is nothing that happens around us, in us, with us, through us, for us, that was not orchestrated. Nothing. Even that betrayal. Have you thought about it for one moment? Even that betrayal. Pastor, what are you talking about here? Are you saying that God knew about the betrayal and yet did not stop it? Do you know I almost lost my life as a result of that particular incident? I almost lost my family, I almost lost my life. Yes, He knows it. And yet He allowed it. If He allows it, it means that He allows it because He is going to use it. He needs it. That's why He allows it. I know this one is it's a little mysterious, it's a little deep. And I just hope somebody will be able to grab and run with it. It's a fast food next morning. Just go through the drive-through. You don't have to dine in. But I need to just drive through next morning, but grab and go. And this is what I want you to grab and go. When Joseph saw the brothers in Egypt, They said to him, "We are sorry, we sold you." He said, "No, you did not sell me. God brought me here." And let me say this quickly because I'm not gonna be able to finish it. I'll finish it tomorrow on Wednesday. But let me say this because I want to talk about something else. Let's pay attention a minute at the. Let's pay attention to the statement that Joseph made to his brothers. As a matter of fact, all through the scriptures, the story of Joseph, I don't even know what I'm talking about Joseph this morning, but in the story of Joseph, we've never seen any record of Joseph shedding tears or crying when he was accused of rape. Bible never recorded that Joseph wept. When he was put in jail, it wasn't recorded that Joseph wept. I mean, those situations were enough to make anybody weep. When he was sold to slavery, we never recorded that Joseph wept. When he was put in the pit and betrayed by the brothers that he loved and cared for, it was never recorded that Joseph wept or Joseph shed any tears or had any regret. So at some point you have to say, does this guy has any emotion at all? Yes, of course he does. But one moment of his life was recorded that he shed tears, that he cried when he met his brothers. When they finally came to Egypt and met him as a prime minister of the great nation of Egypt, think about it for a moment. And these guys came in, and when he discovered that these are actually his brothers, that he never thought he was ever gonna see again. These brothers that betrayed him, these brothers that sold him, these brothers that ill treated him, abused him, these brothers that molested him, these brothers that despised him. Here they are. Look at them. And the Bible says he wept. You know why he was crying? He wasn't crying because of them. He was crying because, number one, they are totally ignorant of what they've done. It's just about the same thing Jesus is saying, forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. They actually don't know what they're doing. And I wanted to, excuse me, and I want you to pay attention to that statement that Jesus made. I'm going to come back to Joseph. I'm about to close. Forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. I have a message that I'm preaching. They don't know what they're doing. That's a message we're going to preach on Wednesday. They don't know what they're doing. Remember that. If I forget, remind me that I promised to talk about. They don't know what they're doing. Remind me that. If I forget it on Wednesday, please remind me. Let me write it down. They don't know what they are doing. So let me leave that Joseph story from Wednesday. All right. Let me leave that Joseph story from Wednesday. All right. Praise the Lord. Here you go. Finally, this book is out. Finally, it's ready. And so we're getting ready for the release next month. We're getting ready to release this book next month. We're getting ready to release this book next month. Oh my God, this is awesome. This is my best. I've been writing, but trust me, this is it. When I did The Survivor, I thought that was it. When I did Survivor, I thought that was it. But this is it. I did this. Some of you had the opportunity to have this. So this is a little smaller, but this is it. This is it. I don't know what else I can say about this book. than to tell you that this is it. This is it. Oh, you need to grab this book. The release is going to be next month. I'm working on the date next month. This book will be released next month. Next month. This book will be released next month. You can't afford not to have a copy of The Blessing. This is The Blessing explained in details. You may not enjoy the blessing of God until you understand the mystery that behind the blessing. Some of us have the privilege to enjoy the blessing of God because we have, by inspiration, a revelation of what the blessing is. Here we are. The blessing explained in simple English. The blessing explained in detail. This book is going to change your life. Again, if you're not interested in being blessed, don't go for it. If you have no interest in being blessed, don't go for it. If you have no plan of enjoying the blessing of God, please don't bother about this book, because this book is going to set you up. He said the blessing of God is not natural but supernatural. It causes things to happen that you couldn't have made happen on your own. The abundance and surplus resulting from God's blessings cannot be used up in one's lifetime, but passed to generations. That's talking about somebody this morning. This book addresses the blessing as a covenant, a condition, a help, empowerment, positioning, etc. If you are reading this book, God has set up a blessing. You're reading this book because God has set up a blessing for you that will bring you to the place of advantage and cause you to stand out. That will bring you to the place of advantage and cause you to stand out. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. This is it. This is it. Finally, God has allowed me to finish it. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks or months now, and now it is done. Done, done, done. Trust me, this is going to change your life. This is going to change your life. This is book number 7. This is book number 7. This is book number 7. This is going to change your life. Trust me. And sometime next week, and I'll begin to deal with the book. The entire month of May, I'm going to be talking about just this book. Chapter by chapter, it has about how many chapters we have here? Yeah, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 9 chapters. Yeah, 9 chapters. And so when we are going to look at chapter by chapter. Get ready for it. We're going to do that before.